morning, American government. TGIF. Friday. Thank goodness you made it. Another week. I know you're glad it's the weekend is before us, and I'm as well. So listen, you're doing fantastic. I was just looking at my calendar and having a date circled, and I don't know if you have one, but if you have dates circled, I'm assuming May 6th is one of those circled dates for you. That will be our last time together, so it is close. I just want to encourage you to press on and just finish strong. You're doing great. I have been reading your papers about the church gatherings and freedom of religion, and they're fantastic. So you're doing well. Just, I want to encourage you. Come on, you're so close to the end, so just keep pressing on. I did receive an email just a minute ago about your graduation, so congratulations. You're going to have a graduation. How about that? A ceremony, that is. Of course, you're graduating. Not quite sure what that looks like, but I guess details will follow. But I'm thrilled that they're going to have some type of ceremony for you because you deserve it, and it's been a different year for you as seniors. So I'm glad you're going to have that ceremony. So we have been talking this past week or so about the First Amendment, and we looked again at the freedom of religion, and you wrote your paper, and they were fantastic. And then we just moved in recently into freedom of speech, and then as we start to look at those things, that's a convoluted mess as well. Those waters are muddy, what you can say, what you can't say. We get the court involved. All sorts of things have happened, and it's clear what is acceptable and what is unacceptable anymore. And some people are sensitive, about using certain words and that type thing, and so we have more court cases and more rulings, and so that idea of what you ought to say and what you ought not to say, that line has been blurred of late. A couple of reasons is what's the word acceptable as it's alone has changed in meaning, and that's evolved as well. So no wonder this thing is a mess, and we have new vocabulary words, and they're taking on new meanings. So the whole thing is just whoo. So in today's society, obviously the sensitivity has been totally heightened, and this idea of freedom of speech is under attack. And again, as we start to see more and more court rulings, instead of bringing clarity, it sort of adds more confusion to it. And then, we have the media, and you have a 24/7 news cycle, and what you can say and what you can't say, and with social media, things that were once out of bounds that people would, maybe they thought them, but they would never say them. Now they're saying them. They're putting them in print. They're making crazy videos like this. They're doing Zoom conferences, and so words are being said. So it's a mess. And then when it comes to, slander and libel and, saying things that defame one's character, that has changed. And what's interesting is when we start talking about the political climate, and when we start looking at public officials, what can be said and not said, and what's violating and what's not violating, what you ought to say and what you ought not to say, that has totally gone out the window. And there has been a court case, a ruling, and it had to do with the media. And what happens is, in terms of, you hear fake news all the time, this idea of the media, they're protected. As long as the statements they make, as long as they knew it wasn't false, or there was some reckless disregard on their part to know that it was false, they can say whatever they want to say, which basically is they're just saying rumors. And that's why we have such a media circus. So I want to encourage you, maybe tonight, that you turn on the nightly news and sort of watch the news under the pretense of, is that true? Is that not true? Is that fake news? In terms of these media outlets, they're not really going to be held to the fire in terms of what they're saying, as long as they're not saying something they know is absolutely, truly false. So they can spread malicious rumors, and they sort of get to wash their hands of the whole thing. So then we sort of wonder why this idea of the political environment is so divided the way it is, in terms of how emotional it is, regardless of what side you're on. So this idea of freedom of speech, it has changed over time. it has lots of arms and legs, and there's things you can say and you can't say, and what you ought not to say and what you ought to say, and again, it's changed over time, and the meaning of this word versus the meaning of that word. So it's a mess. So what I would like you to do is I have attached a worksheet. It's 13.2. It's those 10 questions. It's not a quiz. It's if you can take a look at that and get that back to me by via email by Tuesday the 28th, that'd be fantastic. And I have attached a short video, and it's called "The Progressive Guide to Political Correctness." I think it's funny. It's only, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes long, and just watch it, and it's just some of the humor in it, how we're starting to be somewhat sensitive to words, but we're hypocritical at the same time. You know, we'll attack one group, but we won't attack another group, or we don't want to attack ourselves when we use that same type of incident, that we're not as sensitive. So, with all that being said, watch the video, get to the worksheet. It's just the 10 questions. You'll do fantastic on it. Again, it's not a quiz, just a homework assignment. Your weekend is upon you. Be safe, and I will see you on Monday. Again, if you need me for any reason, I am here. Just give me a shout. Again, office hours 8 to 11, but I'm here all the time. So I'm here to help you. I want to help you. When we get back together on Monday, we will have 8 school days left together. So the end is near. So just together, we're going to finish this thing. So if I can be of any assistance, just give me a shout. Be safe, and I will see you on Monday.